Katherine Vickery. She had a guide dog for, I think, 8.5 years as a guide dog. Guide dog then went into retirement, and she kept her dog for, Vikki is her name, Labrador, for 3.5 years after that retirement. But because of Catherine's, she's very severely visually impaired, and because Vikki was declining in terms of her health, Vikki had to go to another home. Now, that's fair enough. Katherine understands that. But what she can't understand is why she's not allowed any contact now that Vikki has gone to, I think, what they call a foster home, to be rehomed. So I'm very pleased to be joined now by Katherine Vickery. Welcome to the show, Katherine.
Thank you, and thank you for talking to me. I really appreciate it.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on. I'm a dog owner myself. I've had dogs all my life, so I can imagine what you're going through. You form a very close bond with your pet, don't you? But, of course, Vikki was more than a pet to you. Now, as I understand, I think I explained the situation there. She was your guide dog for 8.5 years, and then she became a bit old for that, became your pet for 3.5 years. But now, because Vikki's getting on a bit and has health problems, you, because of your sight problems, wouldn't be able to race Vikki to the vet, so she had to go to another home. You understood that. But try to explain why won't they let you see her at all?
So I'm not quite sure about this because previous to today, I had asked the question several times to Guide Dogs members of staff, including the chief executive, by email, and I could never get a direct response, so I'm not quite sure why they won't let me see her. I mean, some people have suggested that perhaps it might be that the dog would get upset when I leave the visit, or perhaps guide dogs are trying to protect me from being upset. But I don't really have a direct answer to that. I did have a better conversation by telephone with someone from Guide Dogs today, and I understand they are looking into my formal complaint and they will make a decision as to whether I can see Vikki or not. But previously it has not been clear to me why I've not been allowed to see her, and it seems like they've kind of, when I've tried to raise a question, and I've tried to raise it quite directly several times with several different members of staff, it's been ignored or overlooked, and obviously it's a really important question for me.
I've got a feeling, because you've got a petition up about this. I will sign it myself, by the way.
Thank you.
I think Ricky Gervais signed it. So you've got some big, high-powered celebrity support there, and I think his partner James Fallon did as well. You know, because I'm sort of a patron of a dog charity, and that specialise in rehoming, and I know some of the complexities of this, and that is that when you rehome a dog, if the former owner keeps going to see that dog, the dog becomes slightly confused. But I do think that from what I can hear of your case, wouldn't do any harm at all. And I think what must be frustrating for you, tell me what it is, but that you're not getting any sense out of anyone.
Yeah, it's very much felt like that up until today, when I've actually managed to have a telephone conversation and being reassured that things will be looked into. I think it still very much hangs in the balance as to what will happen. They're saying they need to look at Vikki's last vet report, and they need to look at how far she is able to travel. Although I have told Guide Dogs, and I'll say again, I'm willing to go anywhere in the country to see Vikki, and at my expense.
I bet you are. I mean, that's a bit ridiculous. I mean, I wouldn't have thought, if you want to see your dog, you're not saying bring that dog to me, are you? You're saying
No.
Wherever Vikki is, I'm happy to go and see her, or to be with her. So that sounds a bit ridiculous.
It's a bit frustrating, and I would have hoped that Guide Dogs, I hope, would understand that they encourage you to build a bond with the dog. And obviously I've built a great bond with Vikki. She's been my lifeline. She's guided me around. She's kept me safe. She's also been great for my mental health.
I'll bet.
So and I would hope they understand that. And after 12 years, to go from that being with her most of the time to being told, so after she went into foster care, I was told that I could have an update of a few lines monthly by email, and that's what I've been receiving so far, is a monthly update of a few lines about Vicki's health each month, and that it feels very hard to go from being with her all the time for so long to go to suddenly a monthly update of a few lines.
And I'm sure she's been well looked after, but she'd love to see you. I know what dogs are like. She'd go mad, wouldn't she, if she saw you? Try to explain what kind of a dog was she. Tell us. We're looking at some lovely pictures of you. She looks like a lovely dog. I see a big 9th birthday celebration there. Tell us what kind of a dog she was and why she was so special.
Oh, she's very special, Vikki. She's very much a people person, so she loved saying hello to people. She loved exploring new places. I used to take her to a private field, which I hired for an hour at a time, and Vikki would, in her younger days, she would run around there and go through the play tunnel, and she'd love going on the doggy play equipment and stuff like that. So she's very much a people dog, and she loves to play. She loves to play with her toys. She loves cuddles. She's a great dog all round. She really is.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm looking at her now. I love Labradors. Do you have another dog now, Vikki?
No, I don't have another dog at the moment, no.
So if I can ask, obviously when you have a guide dog, what do they call them now? Seeing eye dogs. There's always a new name for everything, isn't there? So if I can ask, how do you get around without a seeing eye dog?
So now I use a long white cane. It is quite a bit harder though, because I found with having a guide dog, the dog is quite good at getting you around obstacles and finding a way. So if there are bins or cars parked on the pavement or other obstacles, then it's not ideal for us, but the dog is trained to navigate those challenges. With a white cane, you're relying on people to spot it. So, for instance, there are still times when I might accidentally walk into people if they've not spotted a white cane, whereas with the guide dog, that's less likely because she's finding her own way through the crowd. So she's weaving me through the crowd with her.
And would you like another dog?
I would probably consider it in time. It's possibly a bit soon.
Yeah, I know what you say. I know that thing where you don't want to replace your beloved dog. Whereabouts in the country are you, Vikki? Sorry, I just called you Vikki. That's your dog's name. Whereabouts in the country are you, Katherine?
That's all right. A lot of people do that. I'm in Yeovil in rural South Somerset.
And you have no idea what part of the country Vicki's in?
No, and that's quite unsettling for me. Although I understand that perhaps because of confidentiality, guide dogs might not be able to say. All I've been told today is that Vikki is a reasonable distance from me and that her travel was not done all at once. So it appears that she had a break in her travel when she got to get to her new foster placement.
Well, your petition is there on charge.org. So everybody look up Katherine Vickery. You can find her petition and sign it. I'll sign it myself. As I say, I believe Ricky Gervais has signed it.
Thank you.
And you should be reunited with Vikki. And I was going to say if we could help, we would, but I'm not sure we can. I'm going to read out a statement from the Guide Dog Society in a minute. But it was great to talk to you, Katherine. I really hope you get to see Vikki again, because I know what it's like to be separated from your beloved dog. And keep us up to date with how you get on, will you?
Yeah, thank you. And thank you to everyone for the support with the petition. It's been tremendous support and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Katherine. Katherine Vickery there.